What we're going to talk about today is how to write an at-home workout. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kyle Hollenbeck. I'm a certified physical fitness instructor through New York State Department of Criminal Justice, a certified physical preparation specialist or CPPS, and a level 1 precision nutrition coach. Journey to this point, I'll give you a little bit of background. So I played college football and I got hired on a police department right out of college. My training needed to adapt and change to fit my new role, if you will. There are some parallels between college or collegiate sports and law enforcement. Now, there are some changes in modalities that are better, but the nature is largely the same. As I changed my training to fit the law enforcement need, I started to find and gravitate towards different people. Some of my mentors, James Smith, Diesel Strength and Conditioning, Joe DeFranco of DeFranco's Training System, Mike Staley of the Training Room Online. They were largely influential in opening up my own strength and conditioning facility. I trained a lot of Gen Pop, which means a lot of everyday people. Sure, we had pro athletes, high school athletes, but the majority of our folks were high executives, people who needed to work out to supplement their life. Their life wasn't to work out. I ended up selling my portion or my side of the business and focusing on family. However, that knowledge, is still with me today, and I practice with it today. I've got a couple clients online, and I still train folks who are on the job. My journey into homesteading was driven from my background in strength and conditioning. So I started to focus on not only how I was treating my body in the gym, but outside of the gym. So what was going into it, the quality of the ingredients going into it, that led me into homesteading and nutrition. There are huge parallels between this and homesteading, right? I may not work out every day in the traditional sense of going to a gym, but there are exercises that I do, carrying feed pails, water buckets, that kind of thing. That's essentially a farmer's carry. That's a core movement exercise. That's a strength exercise. It could be a conditioning exercise, depending on how many you got to carry. That journey led me into nutrition further than what I already had in my certifications. That led me to a deeper connection with my food. So got into homesteading, hunting, and that really solidified me on my path. So what I'm going to go over today is how to structure a workout that you can do at home with minimal equipment. Now, what this all entails and transfers to is GPP. So what is GPP? It's general physical preparedness. That means it's basically just somebody who has good overall condition, who's got some decent strength, who's got some good conditioning, and has good body composition. So GPP is the name of the game here in this particular workout. If you have a specific goal, you're going to need to look at SPP or specific physical preparedness, and that's a whole other video. So this is just for the general person who's looking to get in shape, stay healthy, and live a better life. So with that said, this is going to focus on basic movement patterns. And what that means is you're going to be able to implement and change those exercises within those movement patterns. So this is a guide or a guideline on how to structure this, okay? So first and foremost is a warm-up. A warm-up should mimic your workout. By that I mean you shouldn't be doing static stretches that are just going to work on stretching your muscles. So think of, the old some of these, that kind of thing you see the bros doing in the gym, or the bent over toe touches or things like that. Those are called static stretches. Those are essentially no good for what we're trying to do, okay? You got to do dynamic movements and they should mimic your workout. Keep the reps short, focus on form, focus on quality of movement, okay? So your first pairing or your first exercise is going to be an upper body push. Think push-ups, pressing. That can be dumbbell bench if you have that equipment. It could be a barbell bench if you have that equipment. More often than not, it's going to be a push-up or some variation of it. Next is a lower body pull. So you can think of deadlifts, kettlebell swings, RDLs, anything that involves a posterior chain, so hamstring dominant. Next is an upper body pull. So chin-ups, rows, inverted rows, recline rows, face pulls, anything that's going to be posterior upper body dominant. Next is a lower body or quad dominant. So it could be single leg, it could be bilateral, so it could be two leg. Things that come to mind: body weight squats, goblet squats, single leg movements, step ups, Bulgarian split squats, lunges, things like that, okay? Next is a core and finisher. I like to combine these two movements or patterns, if you will, because it allows you to keep the workout moving, right? A lot of times you can get to this point and you got to power through it or whatever the case may be. But the reality here is we want you to be efficient with your time and get the most out of your workout. And then lastly is recovery. You're going to set yourself up for the rest of the day. You know, if you've got a job, things of that nature, you're going to want to set yourself up. The goal here isn't to just fatigue yourself to a point, you know, where you're unproductive the rest of the day. You want to be productive, you want to contribute, you want to move that needle forward, especially in your next workout. So using this template, I'm going to structure a workout and give you an example of how this would look, and then kind of demo that for you so you have an idea of flow and pacing and that kind of thing, okay? I'm going to go ahead and erase this and then put up the actual workout. What I'm going to go over is what's called an EDT. It's an EDT style workout. So you're doing two opposing movements back to back or consecutively for a given number of time. In this case, it's going to be 10 minutes. Now, if you can't start the 10 minutes, don't try to push yourself too far, okay? Start with something that's doable. If it's 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. So the way this is going to work, 1A, 1B are supersets. So these two movements are going to be done together. Now you could do this whole thing in a circuit style, so you go from one exercise all the way to the next, but I've chose to show you here just how versatile this template is, okay? So push-ups, we're going to do 15 reps. Kettlebell swings, we're going to do 10 reps. We're going to do these reps back to back with no rest for 10 minutes, okay? So you're going to do your 15 reps on your push-ups. Immediately following, you're going to do 10 kettlebell swings. How you would do this, if your form starts to slip or deteriorate, you're going to drop the number of reps or rest more or both for that allotted 10 minutes. What I would do is track the number of rounds that you completed within the 10 minutes, compare that to a future workout. Maybe you do the same one next week or whatever the case may be. You're going to rest and then proceed into the next superset. So here, got chin-ups, 5 reps, goblet squats, 7 reps. So for the chin-ups, my max rep range is not crazy high, but it's high enough to where 5 reps is a challenge, but it's not undoable for 10 minutes, okay? The next one is a goblet squat. I chose 7 reps. I'm gonna pick a medium weight that's gonna challenge me, but not something that's gonna overtax me, okay? So I'm gonna do 5 chin-ups, immediately following 7 goblet squats, and go back to the chin-ups for a total of 10 minutes, okay? I'm gonna rest as needed, change the reps up, and now let's say chin-ups are too heavy for me, I may regress or auto-regulate into a recline row. What that means is I'm changing the workout on the fly. If chin-ups are too much for me on this particular day, I'm gonna change that exercise out, okay? And a quick note on that, don't pigeonhole yourself into something to where it's got to be this because that's what I wrote it. You know, each day is different. Your body's different each day. You have different stressors, different influences on your life, okay? So if you have to change something up, don't feel like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or no. Change it up and be at peace with that decision. The only person who's judging you is yourself. Lastly, farmer's carry and a fast-paced run. So I'll speak on the run portion first. If you're not used to sprinting, don't just go out there and sprint, okay? Do something, what's called a fly in or a fly out. So start off at a walk, pick your pace up to a jog and then to a sprint, and then come back down to a jog and then ultimately to a walk, okay? That's gonna help you kind of build to that next level if you're interested in sprinting, or run up a hill. You're gonna find out quickly that you're only gonna be able to run so fast up a hill, okay? Farmer's carry, for me, that's one of the most functional core movement patterns that you could do. So I try to incorporate core or a portion of core into every workout. That could be, your planks, your hollow body rockers, it could be a crossbody sit-up, or in this case, a farmer's carry. And then my other go-to is a Bulgarian bag. If you're not familiar with that, I've got more videos coming out down the road that's going to elaborate on that. But between those exercises, those are foundational in my program. Notice here, I'm not doing the 10-minute focus. I do usually what I call a 4-minute finisher. Keep those short, high-intensity bursts. That's where you're going to get your most bang for your buck, if you will, out of these finishers. Yes, you're going to focus on form here, but keep in mind to keep these short. These are highly taxing on your body, so do what you can to keep them short. And then lastly is your recovery, right? How you set up the rest of your day and your next workout. So I like to kind of relax. Don't necessarily go right into foam rolling, but try to get your central nervous system calmed down a little bit. Bring your heart rate down. Do some box breathing if you know what that is. If you don't, look that up. But that's kind of the thing you want to do immediately following your workout, and then set yourself up nutritionally as well. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you. I appreciate it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Give me a like, give me a comment on what you thought, how your training's going, what you're currently doing for your training.
and right.
So as a thank you, I left a link in the description for you. It's called Built for the Long Haul. It's a PDF guide where you can pick up 7 strategies to implement in your life. Everything from nutrition to recovery and overall fitness techniques and tips. So link in the description. Grab your free copy today. Again, thank you so much for checking this video out. Please give me a like and let me know what you thought.